Hello everybody, welcome to All Sports Weekly episode 3. We're back again this week. I am Trevor and with me I have Andrew. How you doing?
Ahoy!
How you doing? As you can see, we're watching this on YouTube. We're also on SoundCloud. If you're watching this, please do me a favour, like the video, subscribe to the channel, that sort of thing, and share the link with anyone that might be interested. If you have any comments or questions that you want us to talk about next week, leave a comment down below on the video. You can also email me at allsportsweekly@outlook.com, and we're also on Twitter at allsportsweekly, all one word. So, let's do it. Okay, Andrew, what sport have you been watching this week, sir?
Cricket.
Cricket. Seems to be a theme.
Yeah.
Cricket?
Cricket.
Cricket,
Bash,
cricket.
Tests.
The whole lot.
Yeah.
Just into it.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm the
Is
same.
there anything else on?
American football,
Alright.
which, as you can, it's very important. We'll talk about that. But yeah, for me, cricket, I went to the test.
Yeah.
First 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Had a lot to do day 5. Pretty tempted, being day 5 was pretty amazing stuff. Didn't go, just watched it on the telly and so forth. So took it all in.
I put a few sets of braces on upside down while I was watching it.
Did you?
On day 5.
Really? It was a tough day to be in the chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of pain.
Yeah. Well, pain is actually pain with an
There
E.
you go.
That's a good segue right there.
Hey.
So let's get into the cricket. Okay. 4th test. Australia beaten at home by India. Beaten by a team with 7 players unavailable due to going home for babies, injuries and so forth. In particular, the bowling stocks.
Yeah.
Completely obliterated.
India B.
Net bowlers playing at the Gabba. We won the toss. Pretty much everything that Australia needed happened. And we got beaten.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Are you hurting?
I am a little bit, but a strange thing happened, and I suspect this was with a lot of Australians. I don't know about you. India won me over a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
they did.
And then, it's fair to say, people who know me, they're not on my Christmas card list.
Right.
As a rule.
They got some respect from me. I mean, it's like you said, it's a second string team.
Yeah.
And they just did us.
They were better.
They did us.
They were better than us.
And you get the Washington and Tupac Shakur or whatever his name is. He comes in, and you're thinking, we're on here, and then they just we've got more batsmen.
and they were playing cover drives and so what was that day 2 or day 3? I can't recall. But India's first innings, we had them about 6 for 190, and we had 369. And
Pant went, and when Pant
went
it was
for
like we're
20
on.
or whatever,
Yeah.
and we're like, okay.
No, there's no Ashwin Jadeja kind of dig out combo coming through here.
It's time to rip through them.
Yeah.
150 lead, we've got them.
Yeah.
A little bit of weather at play, a couple of days there.
Yeah.
But then that's 7 and 8, so 8th wicket stand, and that
changed the game.
Changed the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't streaky. They weren't French cuts. They were cover drives and these defensive shots that looked solid.
Yeah.
And we looked okay. So the Aussie bowling. Okay, so I think it's fair to say Cummins and Hazelwood were pretty solid.
Yeah.
They were as good as you'd imagine.
Yeah.
Stark just got more and more tired as the series went on.
Yeah, but we've been saying this a little bit about Stark, I think, for a while, since Sandpaper.
Since then,
like when he's not getting a lot of swing, and when he's not getting a lot of swing, he's not that threatening.
No.
He's not taking a lot of wickets, is he? And he's also the guy that lets the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's expensive.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Cummins and Hazelwood. It's a battle for the batsman, and then you almost feel him go, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even when Stark gets the new pill,
Yeah.
you're like, give it to Cummins.
Yeah, because Cummins' first change, which is...
Yeah, because they talk about Stark wanting the swing and and all that stuff, but it's just...
I suppose they figure if you don't have Stark opening bowling, don't have him at all. Maybe.
Yeah, but like that's sort of, it's a bit backwards, I think. But the more I kind of think about it, and it's not like we need to ditch the whole team or anything, but I mean, Stark was a weak link.
And there was, I dare say, a weaker one, which is Nathan Lyon.
Yeah.
So this was a bit of a party pooper Lions 100th test, he only needed 4 wickets for the whole test to get his 400, and I think the champagne was on ice. It didn't happen. He didn't trouble him.
No.
It didn't spin much.
It's hard for him. I mean, like
The bounce that the Gabba can give, he bowled too fast.
yeah, he didn't threaten.
Didn't threaten.
And you've got guys that play spin well too.
Yeah.
Like
So these net bowlers, they come out batting 8 or 9.
yeah,
They're used to facing, spinners who can do Dusras and all this on
Yeah,
dust bowls.
that's it.
Nathan Lyon on the third day Gabba pitch, it wasn't really
Might
keeping
be alright.
It wasn't too bad.
it's like
And
the equivalent of an under 15 guy in the nets.
Yeah. That late first innings surge there for India, that just gave them that hope of not just going for a draw, but to actually be in touch to win the game. And even the better bowlers like Cummins, Hazelwood, and that, we bowled way too short.
Yeah.
Way too short. I understand you've got to do that to some extent, and you can't be going for Yorkers every ball, and I understand that. But the graphic of balls that were on the stumps, there's not enough. And in the 4 tests, Australia got 3 batsmen out LB in 4 tests. That's outrageous.
Yeah. Do they normally get dudes LB at the Gabba though, or is it? I
Well,
don't
you
know.
get them in Australia,
Yeah,
unless
yeah,
you Bill Laurie.
Yeah.
He never got out in his whole career in Australia RBW. That's a fun fact. But
Hazelwood wouldn't, on the Gabba typically he bounces, and
yeah, well,
you'd be thinking starts.
India got
LB
13 LBWs in the series.
Yeah.
We got 3.
Yeah, right.
And basically, it was the deficit of wickets that cost us, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because the batsmen got enough runs.
Yeah.
It was the 3rd test and the 4th test. We couldn't get them out. And that's
Yeah,
my view
yeah.
on where it's a lot more to it. And so I think tactically we were exposed. I think Lyon bowled poorly, and I think the field settings were poor. And then you got Payne, who is coming under a lot of fire.
Yeah. Well,
Missed catches, missed stumpings, tactical decisions.
What do you
got
think?
caught. What I think was he was the right man at the right time post Sandpaper. I think he's had a good influence on the team. I like the guy. And he got a 50 with the bat, but that's not really why he's there, but handy runs.
Yeah.
But he's 36, and he looks 36. I mean, so some players, they want to retire on their own terms. They leave the crowd wanting more, and unfortunately, this is all sports. Some of them you have to give them a prod.
Yeah.
There are some guys who I'm going to play until you tell me I can't.
Well, he started late, so
Started
he's
late.
sort of like,
Yeah.
I'd like to keep going.
You don't want to have a situation where you've got to change 4 or 5 players at once. That's what we don't want.
Yeah.
So if you think about Payne's 36, Warner's 34, Lyons 33, Stark's 30, I think they're the main ones. You don't want to be... And Ashes is in a year.
Yeah.
We don't want to be getting to next year and going, these guys are too old. If you are going to get rid of a couple, I think it's now. And I think it's easy to be reactive and a bit hyperbolic and, we're all freaking out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't be having a home series with everything in your favour and getting beaten by a second string team without some fallout. There's
I want
got to,
blood.
well, there's got to be something. There's got to be, hasn't there?
Yeah, a little bit.
Because
Well,
what do you just say? Oh, we're all good. What do you do?
I mean, I don't know what do you drop Payne for? Because if you're dropping him from the captaincy, you're dropping him, right? So it's
Yeah.
Carey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm putting Smith back to captain.
Yeah.
Today.
But can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Me too.
Sure we can.
I
I'd be doing that today.
Yeah,
I'd be telling Payne thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Carey's in.
Yeah.
And Smith is captain today.
Cool.
As for the Lion thing, that's a little bit harder.
It's hard.
I'm not sure on Steckity, O'Keefe, Zampa. I don't really know in the test format what's coming through.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it's probably worth exploring because
Have you seen that little Tanvir Sandhu? He's like he's a little Indian fellow. He's a pretty good little spinner.
okay,
And I've only seen him a few times. He's young. He must be like 19.
right.
And he's been playing in the BBL and he's looking alright. Prospect. You wouldn't throw him into the test team.
There's a pecking order, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that I don't know, but Lions' days are numbered.
Yeah.
So
But I think a lot of it's he's been there because there's
yeah.
no one else.
and
he's all right.
For a guy that he's got 399 wickets.
Yeah.
I've seen him live in England at the Gabba a few times.
Yeah.
The ball doesn't do much. A few topies.
Straight ones.
Bowl the arm ball, Gary. But there was this fellow in the crowd. Bowl the one that doesn't spin, Gary.
What happened there?
Yeah,
Bounce a bit.
that was the arm ball. So that's Australia. Some tough questions there, but let's talk about India.
Mm-hmm.
They were great. Pant was fantastic.
Yeah.
Ashwin, the captaincy, Rahane. They lost Kohli after getting out for 36. They seemed to rally around that. Pujara. Mate, so he got body line basically.
So good.
They did, didn't
Yeah.
they? So I counted 9 hits.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it.
Head. Oh yeah. Head. I think he broke a finger, or at least it's dislocated. It looked pretty bent up. Ribs, arms. I mean, they got him. He did not back down.
I hate him, but I love him.
And he just, I think he got 50 off about 1 million balls. About 1 million balls. That is what they needed. That's what he did.
So good.
I feel like, they won a few people over.
Definitely.
And it might be a happy accident, sort of like when Smith got bodylined in the Ashes and Labuschagne came in and we went, oh, he's pretty good. I wonder if India look back in a few years' time at this series and that Gabba test where these guys have come in and they've gone, we've got more depth than we think we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yadav and Jadeja, I can't speak, and Boomer and them are all great. But all of a sudden, they're going to have to think, well, we better not get injured again. Because
Yadav's gone.
Yadav's gone.
Mate, Jasprit is just...
Jasprit,
he's there.
He's the man.
Now there. Boomer and Jasprit's... that's threatening.
They've got a lovely problem of people fighting for positions.
Yeah.
Australia don't face them again till 2022 over there. Now this is all COVID dependent obviously, but say if everything went to plan, we will tour there mid-year next year, and I'll tell you what, in their conditions with the team that they've got, we've got
Lion.
Well, we got Lion, but we're going to have to think about that series. I think Ashes this year obviously, but with because that's a great rivalry we've got there, and there's no love lost. They're going to be waiting for us there.
Yeah.
Tim Payne, I can't wait to get you to the Gabba. Well, and what did he say? I can't wait to get you to India. So.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, disappointing. The Gabba Fortress has been breached. First lost there since 1988.
We'll have another run.
Yeah.
It was just an aberration.
Well, it is. I feel like it's like days without a tornado. 3. We're back to start now.
Yeah.
The fortress has been breached, and then that's that. England will be watching that, and I know they're a different team, but they'll just get that little twinkle in their eye, knowing, well, this Australian team isn't
lulling them. It's all for the Ashes.
Really?
This was just all for the Ashes.
It's working
We're setting England up here.
Working for me, mate. If this is a ruse, I've taken the bait.
And Warner, once he's sort of had another good series.
Your mate.
He's setting himself up for the Ashes again.
Injured, obviously, but he's 34.
Coming off a series average of about 1 in England.
Yeah.
Another good series.
Good one. You're a big fan, obviously.
Oh,
yeah. And we're going to have to replace him. And the top order, I think we spoke about either last week or the week before. The top order is a problem. Warner, I thought maybe we were missing him. He comes back, he doesn't do a whole lot. Pekovsky's the great white hope. We'll see about that.
Good. Hair's good. So.
Harris looks, he does nothing for me. No. Head, Harris, all them, I think we need a top order batsman badly.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other thing. But done. We weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Bottom line. Good. In the end, we were doing our rain dance. I was here, doing my haka, praying for rain.
I was just enjoying the game, to be honest. I just thought that was one of the best Test series I've ever watched.
It was.
And,
4 tests.
Match was a great Test match, and the last day was a bloody good day of Test cricket.
To have 4 tests, the 5th day, it basically got down to a one-dayer where they needed, 30 runs off 40 balls to win the whole series. I mean, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
The Border Gavaskar Trophy is abroad for another couple of years at least.
Yeah, I just like the gall of it. They went for it, and Pant was going for it, and as opposed to doing the English thing of
Yeah.
just like either capitulating or just
Going for a
plodding
draw.
along. Yeah. it
Oh,
was
English,
good.
different culture, yeah.
Yeah.
They can celebrate a draw like
Yeah.
you've never seen. I mean, a 0-0 draw, they can celebrate that all. This India team want to win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I think, part of the reason why Australians have sort of resonated with them a bit.
Yeah.
Is because that's the way we think too.
Yeah.
They
They're brave.
actually-
They're a little bit brave actually, and they're a bit
Yeah.
tough. Hence, like Pujara, people are like, he's good. I like
Yeah.
it. He gets up.
Yeah, he's one for the purists.
Yeah.
The people who like Test cricket look
Yeah.
at him and go, "This is what you do."
Yeah.
Yeah. So, congratulations, India. It hurts, but that's cricket, and yeah. In cricket, just touch on a bit more broadly. England are playing over in Sri Lanka. Haven't seen any of it, but the talking point was Joe Root got 226, which is pretty amazing.
He's back, baby.
Yeah, and didn't get his normal 50 and then get out. Michael Vaughan wrote a piece that the Sri Lankan first innings was some of the worst batting he'd ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
They did get 123, so it wasn't necessarily the score, because we've seen worse obviously than that, but apparently the way they were playing and just their body language and the shots they're playing in the context of is atrocious by all reports.
Yeah.
So
And it cost them the match because like they got 360 or something in the second innings, and
Yeah.
they had England 3 for nothing. So
Yeah.
they had another 100 runs.
Yeah,
so there was a
they-
good chance they were home.
apparently some good spin bowlers in the Sri Lankan team, but I look at that team and they're not names that jump out. They've lost some pretty big names, and
Yeah.
I don't know if the depth is there.
But that's whenever Sri Lanka and Pakistan turn up to Australia for a series, I'm always like, there's 9 guys. I'm going, who are they?
Yeah,
And then you have to watch them and you're all right.
they're all right. Well,
They suck.
or they're not.
Yeah.
Well, I think with India we didn't know a few of them. We know who
Yeah.
Washington Sundar is
Yeah.
now. I can tell you. So good game over there. And an important thing is South Africa touring Pakistan. Now I don't know if the game started yet, but they are in Pakistan. The security and everything is apparently monumental. Touch wood, it all works. But it's the first team to tour Pakistan in over 10 years since the terrorist attacks. Excellent. This is great. This is great for cricket. Let's hope it all goes well, because Pakistan, great cricketing nation. No team's been able to go there for a long time. Some of the great grounds, some of the great history. The older players, and Steve Waugh was saying, those Pakistani tours are some of the best ones. So let's hope that it works well, and that then teams can get more confidence to go back and play in Pakistan. As for Big Bash, well, that's happening pretty much every night, and as we've said on the show before, it feels like it's going a little bit long. But we'll talk about that a little bit more maybe next week, now that the test is over, and that's what we've got.
Did you see McDermott's massive sixes?
Yeah.
Well, especially that one.
There's two that went out of the ground, right?
I got hard when I saw it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Remember the second one? Yeah, I think
Just
you
the
texted
sound.
me. Oh my god! Yeah. What ground is that on?
Monica, I think it was. So.
Would that have been out of all parks?
I don't know,
Like
but it was-
Yellowstone? Or?
I don't know. It's long. It's all I know.
All you knew was it was
mate.
long. I think we better segue on that one quickly. Okay, let's talk a little bit about tennis. Tennis season. Now, normally in a normal year, the Australian Open would be on right now. Obviously, it's been delayed, COVID and everything like that. So, 1,200 people, players, staff, entourage, physios, whatever, have been allowed into Australia in a pretty complicated biosecurity experiment, I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
Victorian Premier, who knows a little bit about COVID. Worst nightmare scenario, the minute they arrived, a couple of people on the plane, cabin crew, no players I believe have tested positive, but people who are in direct contact with the players.
One of the coaches was.
Coaches, yeah, I think one of the flight crew. And all of a sudden, I think it was 48 players initially placed into a 14-day hard lockdown. Tennis players not known for being, shall we say, humble or understanding.
Novak.
Yeah, Novaks. And like Novak Djokovic, great player, but I might not listen to him for much when it comes to biosecurity. After his COVID tournament there, when they all got it and hugged each other and went out on the syrup that night. But basically, for the people who didn't think this should happen or they shouldn't have it, this is the fuel they needed. They're emboldened. There's a lot of people trying to get back to Australia who can't. This is, get really good at tennis and I can come kind of jokes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was naive to think that no one was going to have COVID coming in with so many people. Should we be doing this at all? Should we have this? Should we be trying to have this tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
People need to be entertained.
Yeah.
Just lock them down though if they need to be.
Yeah.
And then get on with it.
Because the players were saying that they weren't told they would have to face a lockdown if they came into contact. Now, I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I think they were.
I find that pretty hard to
fine
believe.
print.
So let's just say that they were told and they're just saying, well, we weren't told that. Well, that's pretty petulant. They've agreed to the T's and C's.
Yeah.
If they weren't told, that's amazing. But it is the Victorian government.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Asterisk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look, and there's a whole lot of if in COVID time, if they can make this happen, if the players can train, can play the warm-up tournament, I think it's Adelaide, and actually have an Australian Open with crowds, and we can televise that to the world, it will be a remarkable thing. It will the morale, people need something, the Victorian economy, the television rights I'm sure are huge.
Yeah.
It cements Melbourne as a Grand Slam city. And it could be fantastic.
Give the people Bernard Tomic.
Well, that's what we need. And he was his usual magnanimous self, saying, was he risking my life here? The reason he's risking his life is because he had to play a Doha tournament because his ranking has slipped so low. He won't even get a wild card anymore, and he has to play the satellite tour.
Killing it.
Risking his life.
Yeah.
He's not the hero we deserved. The one we needed.
Good chin.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a kind of wait and see. This could work one or two ways. Let's just say they get through this and the Open is a great success. We might be saying, well, how good. But say, for example, if, players break biosecurity, players start to test positive mid-tournament, stuff like that, this could be a disaster. And worst case scenario, it escapes to the Victorian community.
Yeah.
Who have had enough.
Oh, yeah. It could suck. It won't. It'll be right.
You'll be right?
Yeah.
Okay, I like your attitude. She'll be right. And just Ash Barty, number 1 in the world last I checked.
Yep.
Obviously has the advantage of being here, is been practicing every day, doesn't have to quarantine. This is it, surely.
Good chance.
This has got to be the one.
Yep.
Everyone's here, I think, except for Federer is the biggest notable omission.
Who's going to win in the boys?
The boys.
Yeah.
The men.
Yeah.
Let's go with Nadal.
Okay. Cool.
I was going to say Novak, but no, I don't want to back. I don't want to back Novaks. Okay. Well, let's just see. We'll talk about the tennis a bit more in the next few weeks as we get into it.
Yep.
And lastly, mate, we're going to talk about NFL, your favourite sport.
I know all about it.
Do you?
Heaps.
Okay. So we've had basically what you could call the quarterfinals, which is the divisional round, last week. My beloved Rams have fallen short, unfortunately, against Green Bay. Pretty good game. Sort of a lot of injuries coming in, but just weren't good enough. Green Bay at home, very tough. And on the NFC side, that will now play Green Bay, the big talk is the Buccaneers, who have beaten New Orleans. This was the old man quarterback game. So Tom Brady at 43, Drew Brees at 41. Get out your pension cards. One guy looked 41, and that was Drew Brees, who I honestly think will probably retire. He got to the big game and he looked old. Brady looked good. He didn't, he played a team game. He didn't try to star too much with his big, highlight reel. He just got it done. Tom Brady, 43 years of age, the GOAT, is going to go to Green Bay. Green Bay should win. Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be the MVP this year. I would not write off Tampa Bay.
Fairy tale.
Mate, that guy wins. And he wins in the playoffs, Yeah, watch this space. Green Bay should be favourites, but
When's that semi playing?
So this is on Monday Australian time, Monday morning.
Okay.
I'll go so far as to say if Tampa Bay beat Green Bay, they'll win the Super Bowl. They just will.
I might even watch it.
Yeah, Monday morning, just chuck a sickie, man.
Yeah.
Chuck a sickie.
Just put them on upside down.
Yeah, on the AFC side of things, the Bills were too good for the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson looks like he's everyone's kind of worked him out. He doesn't have the passing game, and yeah, I just don't think Lamar Jackson's going to win a Super Bowl unless he learns how to throw a bit better. The Chiefs edged out the Browns. The Browns, the Cinderella story, a bit unlucky too. A couple of calls there, 22-17. Pretty tight. Best Browns season that I can remember. I think it's the best season they've had since 1995, even maybe earlier than that. Fair bit to be excited about if you're a Browns fan. So it all comes down to, the Bills and the Chiefs, the Packers and the Buccaneers. The winners will play in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Who's going to win?
Buccaneers, mate.
Buccaneers?
Yarr.
Are you going to
Definitely.
Buccaneers to beat the Packers?
Yeah.
Bills and Chiefs?
And I don't know. What do you reckon?
I've been on record saying the Chiefs are a good team but not a great team. I think they're a bit overrated. No one agrees. Back in week one, my colleague here, Aaron, said that it was a procession quote. Kansas were going to just walk into the Super Bowl like they own the joint. I disagree. I feel like Buffalo can definitely beat Kansas. We'll see. To be tight, Patrick Mahomes has had a concussion. That's the big talk. Arguably the league's best player. It's out of Rodgers and Mahomes at the moment.
And what
He
happens
got
if they get a concussion?
Well, he's under concussion protocol similar to what you'd see here.
Okay.
Where basically through the week he has to jump through certain hoops and pass certain reactionary tests and so forth. And will he play? Won't he play? I think the Chiefs are a good enough team. If he doesn't play, I don't think it's this end of the world. They can't win. But geez, it's a hell of a loss. It's a hell of a loss in the playoff game. So
Is it like losing Todd Carney?
it's even worse. It's like losing Todd Carney at the Northies Hotel, which
Late in the night.
Yeah, that's a catastrophic. But so we'll see about that. That's a big injury or in, and that Packers Buccaneers game. I mean, Tom Brady's the GOAT, and this is just the cherry on top. I mean, there's a lot of people who thought he never should have even played this year. And they never thought he'd get this far. And if he does happen to beat Green Bay, there's going to be a whole lot of people who are just going to be getting that right up them. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to Monday. For mine, look, I think the Bills will win. I think the Packers should beat the Bucs, but they do have Tom Brady, so we'll see about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's kind of the main talking points for this week. Anything else you want to add moving forward, mate?
I don't think so.
You happy?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Yep, wrap it up.
We're all about the Big Bash now. Heat are playing as we speak. I'm not sure how that's going to go.
I think the strikers are 3 for 400 after 10 overs.
I see. Not going so well. Chris Lynn's going to need to do something. But, it's a competition where more teams make the finals than miss. So it's pretty forgiving.
Yeah.
I think the Renegades are the only just terrible team, and the other 7 are going to final 5 coming. And like we said, it's going quite long, but the finals are coming up. So we'll talk a bit more about the Big Bash next week. And so that's kind of it, mate. How does that feel? Done?
Done. I
Happy?
Like it. Yeah.
Yeah?
Good. Looking forward to talking F1 in about...
When's the
2
first
months.
race? It's not Melbourne, is it?
No, the candidate, I think it's in March. It's usually in March. So.
All right, we've got a bit of time.
Yeah, we've got a bit of time.
All right, well, Formula One coming up later on. So, everyone, hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, leave comments. We're on Twitter. You can email us, let us know what you want to talk about next week, ask us questions, that kind of thing. And that's it. So we'll talk to you all next week. Thanks a lot.
Peace.